in this tournament, playing in this game. If you can come out with a win, it's just going to set your program up so much better for when they return.
Yeah, and she's one that faced quite a few injuries early on in her career, and has, yeah, as you said, stepped up, and she's been a leader for this program. On the other side, we have Natsuki Suzokin, again, a first-team All-Canadian. What about her so far?
Yeah, when you're playing in these big games, like, and it might sound a little cliche or obvious, but your best players have to be your best players. You know, they need to step up and they need to be that calm, confident demeanor. They need to take control. They need to have the ball in their hands in important moments. And so on both sides, you know, highlighting these players, these are the ones that need to step up and be the best players on the floor for them to be the best versions of themselves as a team.
All right, and when we return, we'll get the starting lineups and tip off this U Sports bronze medal game live from Vancouver. You're watching U Sports on CBC.
Feel every hit, point, and celebration as if you're standing right on the sideline. Our passionate team unlocks a world of possibilities with digital broadcasting made simple, bringing heart-pounding action directly to millions of fans. Proudly Canadian, ISI Live, be there.
Hey U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Early mornings, late nights, every rep, every sacrifice leading to this. Fueled by BioSteel, the best get the chance to make their mark. One weekend, one shot at glory.
In the club looking so conspicuous. And wow, these women all on the prowl. If you hold the head steady, I'ma milk the cow. And forget about game, I'ma spit the truth. I won't stop till I get them in their birthday suits. So give me the rhythm and it'll be off with their clothes. Then bend over to the front and touch your toes. I left the jag and I took the rolls. If they ain't cutting, then I put them on foot patrol. How you like me now when my pinky's valued over 300,000? Let's drink, you the one to please. Ludacris fill cups like double D. Me and Ursh, what's more when we leaves them dead? We want a lady in the street, but a freak in the bed that say, yeah, yeah. Shawty got down to the club and get me. Yeah, yeah. I got so caught up, forgot she told me. Yeah, yeah. Cause my girl used to be the best of me. Yeah, yeah. Next thing I knew, she was all up on me screaming. Yeah, 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 yeah. Take that and rewind it back. Lil Jon got the beat to make your booty go. Take that, rewind it back.
UBC, Canada West, and U Sports World. Good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and fans. We request your cooperation in supporting all of our student athletes and competition officials in a positive manner.
Rewind it back. Lil Jon got the beat to make your booty go.
La UBC et l'Association Canada West et U Sports font la promotion du bon esprit sportif par l'étudiant à l'aide. Fans, welcome to the 2025 Indochino U Sports Women's and Men's Final 8 Basketball Championships presented by Victory Creative Group. In today's bronze medal matchup here at historic War Memorial Gymnasium, we welcome the University of Ottawa GGs and your University of British Columbia Thunderbirds. Chers partisans, bonsoir. Bienvenue à Tournoi Wheel Ultimate des championnats masculins et féminins de basketball de U-Sports Indochino 2025, présenté par Victory Creative Group. At this time, let's meet the starting lineups. First, we have the starters for the Ottawa GGs. From Lake Echo, Nova Scotia, number 2, Alyssa Provo. From Quebec City, Quebec, number 3, Victoria Bideau. From Barrie, Ontario, number 9, Natsuki Suzokin. From Grand Falls, New Brunswick, number 12, Ali McCarthy. And from Barrie, Ontario, number 15, Emily Payne. GD's led by head coach Rose Ann Jolly. Coach Jolly assisted by Sarah Besselnick, Patrick Flynn, and Daniel Cabella. And now, let's meet the starting lineup for your UBC Thunderbirds. From Schrobenhaus in Germany, number 1, Mona Berlitz. From Port Coquitlam, BC, number 6, Karis Burden. Your captain from Winnipeg, Manitoba, number 9, Olivia Weed. From Ancaster, Ontario, number 15, Emily Martindale. And from North Vancouver, BC, number 22, Jessica Clark. Your Thunderbirds led by head coach Isabel Orman. Coach Orman assisted by Jalen Skier, Jessica Funk, and Alan Christmanson. The officials for today's game, les officiels d'aujourd'hui sont Mike Duff, Matt Gobo, and Audrey Cardinal. We are gathered today on the traditional ancestral anti-terre of the Musqueam people. Nous aimerons également profiter d'un moment pour raconter que dans son voyage aujourd'hui le territoire traditionnel ancestral.
Thunder fans, we are here in the final matchup of the U-Sports Championship. Thunder fans in the stands. This is your house, your team.
All right, right off the tip-off, we've got a win by Ottawa's Brideau to Provo. Quickly on the attack. Clark comes up with the rebound. Pushing up the floor there. Berlitz looking to attack. Stripped by number 12, Ali McCarthy. Suzokin skips it to Provo, open for 3, and she hits it.
I love to see that type of aggression early. No hesitation on that shot. Beautiful pass. But I love it. I love the confidence.
Merton driving to the hoop and draws some contact. We've got our first foul of the game on number 2, Alyssa Provo. It'll be T-Birds basketball on the baseline. Inbounds to Clark. Hand off to Martindale. Gives to Weeks. Back inside to Clark. Clark attempts to go up and again draws the foul.
We talked about a little bit about this in our pregame chat, but just how important I think that we think Clark is going to be in this game. She's such a tough matchup. I mean, Ottawa's got some size, but Clark is such a tough matchup, and I think if she plays well and is able to get the UBC some secondary chances, if she rebounds the ball, they haven't been shooting the ball overly well, so she can hit the glass and get them some second opportunities and be able to do exactly what she just did, draw some help and create some fouls and put Ottawa in trouble that way. I think she could be really effective today.
Absolutely, and she's drawn the start today along with fellow fifth-year Emily Martindale. Usually both of them are coming off the bench, but getting the start today in what's their last game at War Memorial Gym. Karis Merton with the deflection there, and she's been flying around, causing a little bit of trouble through their pressure.
Yeah, she's a good energy piece for them for sure.
McCarthy to inbound, gets it to Suzokin. Another very key player for this Ottawa team. Distributes it down to Payne. hustling for that loose ball there. It gets back to Sissoko for 3. She knocks it down.
You love, I understand that when you show up to this tournament, nobody's ever just happy to be here. You want to win and you want to try and win a medal, but man, on day 3 when they're that beat up and it's this early in the game and they're hitting the floor and playing as competitive as they are, I love that.
Yeah, I think we've got a very exciting game. Weeks inside to Clark. Clark with the hook.
How do you stop that? You can't.
I think your best option is to not let her get the ball. Again, Merton on Sissoko. Sissoko is able to break the pressure and find Ali McCarthy for 3. Short. Berlitz on the run in transition. Attacks Brideau. That one falls short. But Martindale is able to pick it off and get 2 points right at the hoop there. Provo bringing the ball up here against pressure from Martindale. Merton able to cause that turnover there. Here comes Berlitz to Merton, back to Berlitz, and she is fouled by number 12, Ali McCarthy. That'll be the third team foul on Ottawa, and I think the officials were, okay, yeah, just a regular personal foul there.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think swung hard at it, but went for the ball.
Some subs coming in here for UBC. We've got Rookie of the Year, Kira Daly, and Sarah Tanaguzzi. And then on Ottawa's side, we've got Honora Tlut. UBC to inbound from the baseline. Tanaguzzi to Weeks. Looking to drive from that high post. Puts it up a little bit short there. Tlut able to gather the rebound in transition. No one steps in, so she attacks the hoop.
Oh, Mister had her so much earlier.
There you go, kicked out to McCarthy. McCarthy knocks it down.
It just doesn't matter.
Yeah, great little hustle play there. UBC back on the attack. Turnover there. Steal by Sissoko. Tlut is making an impact right off the bat with another 2 points there.
Yeah, absolutely, and has had lots of opportunity. I think one thing that this Ottawa team hasn't struggled with is their shooting percentage. They've actually, it's kind of the opposite of all the other teams that have come this week. They've shot the ball quite well. It's been their turnovers and the actual amount of looks and possessions that they get. It's not the inability to put the ball in the hoop, it's just the lack of looks.
Yeah, and there is hustle all over the floor today on both sides.
Spicy on the floor.
Yeah. Some subs coming in here for the GGs. Number 4, Ebony Rolongue, and who was the other one that came in here? Number 11 coming in is Renee Croquette. And then on the UBCs, Sophia Bergman and Jade Hun entering the game for the first time. Hun to bring the ball up against Sissoko, who already has 3 steals.
My goodness.
Trying to get it inside to Weeks, but just a little bit over top of her there. Yeah, Sissoko already has 3 steals on the day. She did have 89 on the year, which is...
She's got 3 steals in 3.5 minutes.
Yeah. Lucky there for Ottawa to still maintain control of the ball.
Oh, nice play.
Sissoko able to find Toulouse there again for 2. Tanaguzzi to Weeks. Shoots the jumper. Bergman on the glass there. Had the offensive rebound momentarily, and it'll stay UBC ball.
Toulouse really making the most of her minutes here. Like, she's been wide open under the rim almost like every possession she's been on the floor.
Into Weeks looking to attack Toulouse. absorbs some contact, able to make that fall. We've got a 13-8 GG lead. Zokin breaks the pressure to Tolut, who goes up again. Rebound by Bergman. And here comes UBC on the run. Wynn finds Tanagutsi.
Good contest.
Unable to make that fall. Bailey Russell, first rebound of the game. And we've got the first foul against UBC. Given to, I believe, number 9, Olivia Weeks. Berlitz checking back in for the UBC.
Gigi's backcourt doing a really good job dealing with that pressure. It's pretty relentless and all over you, and they're handling it well.
Yeah, and when you've got a 5th-year U Sports first-team All-Star as your point guard, good things are going to happen.
Yeah,
Russell,
the ability to deal with that has always amazed me.
Bailey Russell with the ball. Pressure.
Nice play. Nice play.
Able to find Roland Gay for 2. Kira Daly across court to Tanagutsi. Kira Daly looking to attack. Pulls up. Leaves it short. Bailey Russell all over that rebound. Finds Zokin. Penetrates baseline, and that was a great field. Great find to Paquette for 2. Paquette. And they get a turnover. I think that's going to bring us to our first media timeout, which UBC is probably happy to see.
Timely.
We've got a 17-8 lead for the Ottawa GGs. And you're watching U Sports on CBC.
Delaney, territoire du Nord-Ouest. Le berceau du hockey. On y trouve une communauté riche en histoire et en tradition que Quaker voulait surprendre avec une toute nouvelle cantine déjeuner Quaker dans son aréna. En plus d'offrir notre avoine canadienne à grains entiers, la cantine est maintenant l'endroit pour se rassembler, manger et célébrer. Nous sommes fiers d'alimenter la passion du hockey dans son village d'origine, parce que peu importe d'où tu viens, t'es capable.
Le sport en direct sur ICTou.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est ICTou.tv.
And we're back, and we talked a little bit before the start of the game that the GGs have shot a good percentage, but just were not getting enough shots. So far, they're 7 of 13, so I'd say that's a pretty good start.
Yeah, I mean, they're a good shooting team in general, and I think... Oh, sorry, I was thinking about UBC and how they're having some struggles. But yeah, Ottawa shot the ball quite well this tournament, and taking care of the ball was a little bit of their Achilles heel in their loss. So they just need to get more looks at the rim, because like they're shooting the ball really well. Just got to be able to have those possessions. Where on the other side of that, like UBC struggled a little bit, both their field goal and their three-point percentage dropping from the regular season. And something that we had kind of talked about, like one of the reasons for that is, or potentially a reason for that is, when you get to this tournament and you haven't been here, and for this group not having been to this tournament, it's more physical. The refs are allowing the game to be played a little bit more. Everyone's stronger. It's the best teams from the country. You have to get your shots off quicker. You're handling more contact on your finishes. And a little bit of those big stage nerves, right? Like those can all play a part in your field goal percentage. So I think that that's probably contributed to UBC's drop from their shooting from the floor.
Absolutely, and this tournament we're on day 4 here, but you just don't have a day to adjust, right? You've got to get going right off the bat if you want to be playing in a medal game.
Well, and that's why it's so important when you have young programs, you're not graduating anyone to get the experience here, because then you understand what it feels like. You understand the difference between the regular season and the postseason, and just the caliber of the teams across the country, and getting that experience and understanding that can then translate into your training and your practicing, because you understand what you need to be prepared for.
Absolutely, and we've got a jump ball possession to the GGs. Yeah, for all these players, I think it's their first time at a national championship, and on the GG side, Suzokin's the lone 5th year, so you're hoping that that group can come back again next year with a little bit more experience. For GG's fans, I'm sure they're hoping they come home with a bronze medal. Got McCarthy with the ball. Into Payne. Back out to McCarthy.
She just hit.
And she hits another one, makes it rain from downtown, and whew, Coach Isabelle Ormond is not happy about that and immediately calls a timeout. It is currently 22-8 for Ottawa with just over 3 minutes left in the first quarter. What do you
not what you're looking for if you're UBC, obviously. Like, gotta understand our assignments too. Like, she just hit one, can't come down and hit one, you know, 1 past 3 for her. Gotta limit their looks. Yeah, they just feel a little disjointed right now. You know, their pressure isn't working quite as well. You know, the backcourt of the GGs is handling it incredibly well. Their offense has really nice flow. Like, they've been making some really nice passes and cuts, whereas UBC doesn't feel that way right now. They just need to kind of settle in a little bit, let their defense create some offense for them, get some easy looks, and it's a very different game. But yeah, just a little bit disjointed.
To kind of get back into it, what do you kind of expect to see out of UBC on this possession, out of this timeout?
I'm hoping to see some digging in on their defense, lots of ball pressure. I don't know what maybe if they want to throw in some sort of press to try and, you know, shake things up a little bit, but I imagine they're going to be talking on like a lot on defense, trying to get on the same page that way, and then just allow their offense to flow from that. I think that's, you got to let the game come to you, got to play your style, and just a lot of energy. I think they're going to start going to the glass a lot as well. If they're going to shoot the ball poorly, you need to be able to get second chances, and that's something you can control, is just going hard to the glass.
Perfect. We got Clark with the ball to Hun. Back out to Kira Daly for 3. A little bit long, rebound bouncing around. Ends up in Provo's hands. Gets it to McCarthy. To Payne. To Suzokin. McCarthy looking to penetrate, nothing there. Great defense by Weeks. Suzokin with the ball in the corner, drives, finds Paquette, puts it up, leaves it just a little bit short. Clark cleaning up the glass. Here comes UBC on the attack once again.
And I think early in this that they were getting the ball into Clark on the low block, and she was having some success, and they've gone away from it. Speaking of, she had a nice seal there and a good rebound.
They're really clogging up the paint there. Hun has the ball. Step back 3. Again on the rebound there. Provo ends up with the rebound. Back to Suzokin. Paquette with the screen. Emily Payne up top. Spin turnaround shot. Clark there once again to clean up the rebound. Buffar and Russell and Toulouse back in for Ottawa. Tanagutsi, Bergman, and Nicole Daly in for UBC. Nicole Daly in that first quarterfinal game was able to give UBC quite the spark of energy when they needed it, so I think that's why she's coming off the bench early here. Olivia Weeks with the drive. Just rolls out. And Olivia Weeks gets the foul there, and that's Olivia's second personal foul. So Berlitz quickly back up off the bench and into the game.
Well, those are the types of fouls you want to avoid. You know, you're so far from your defensive baskets. Didn't have a chance at that one. Can't over pursue, and then to get your second and have to sit after that. Like, hard to get into a rhythm and a flow when you get into foul trouble taking ones like that.
Great drive there by Bailey Russell, and able to draw the foul. She'll shoot 2. Foul is on number 3, Sophia Bergman. Russell at the line. Hits the first.
Got the mascot doing the worm along the baseline.
UBC able to break the GG's pressure. Inside to Berlitz. She's able to draw the foul, heading to the free throw line.
That's such an important thing. They need to continue to attack here. Best way to get through your shooting woes is just to see it go through the rim. You know, get to the line, have some time, be able to feel it off your hand and watch it go in. And if you're Ottawa, you want to limit that because they have so much control right now, and allowing UBC to find their shot is the last thing they want to do as they try to make this comeback.
Berlitz hits the first. Maddie Billings checked in for UBC. A little bit long there. Bergman hustling off that for that rebound and is able to get UBC another possession.
In games like these, against real competitive teams, like, those possessions are so big. Those 50-50 balls and coming up with those, and those extra effort opportunities that you have are so important, because these games, like, I have a feeling this might end up being like a decently close game once UBC kind of finds their rhythm. And those possessions become so huge.
Absolutely, and Berlitz is back at the line once again. Knocks down that first. Berlitz on the year is a 77% free throw shooter and goes 2 for 2. UBC again bringing some pressure in the full court, but Suzokin is able to dribble all the way up.
Oh. She had Toulouse underneath and saw her as well.
Bergman looking to drive, gets it back, unable to have it fall. Suzokin with the ball once again.
I love watching this matchup. So quick, lots of pressure, handling it so well, but good defense, keeping the ball in front.
Suzokin finds Payne. Good for 2 from about 18 feet there. UBC's not going to be able to get a shot off. So going into the first quarter break, we've got a 26-11 lead for Ottawa.
Suzokin is so good. Just watching the way that she navigates their offense and finds them, like, she's got such good handles and she's so quick. Like, as much as, like, I'm really enjoying watching that matchup. She's so in control and understands what she's doing when she attacks everywhere. And her teammates understand how she operates, and they move really well off of her. They cut underneath that rim. A couple of those with Toulouse underneath, and then hitting Payne there for that jumper, just creating shots for her teammates so well, because she'll get to the rim if you don't step in front, but she's also such an amazing passer and has such good vision. It's really fun to watch.
Absolutely.
Tough to stop.
Yeah, and we'll be back after the break. You're watching U Sports on CBC.
Feel every hit, goal, and celebration as if you're standing right on the sideline, immersing you in the game like never before, bringing heart-pounding action directly to millions of fans. We deliver unparalleled simplicity and tailor-made digital broadcasting solutions crafted to make you feel every moment in a way like never before. Our passionate team ensures your message reaches audiences reliably every time. Proudly Canadian, we bring a touch of innovation and our passion to the world stage. ISI Live, be there.
Oh, smoke, Messi! C'est pas aussi mauvais que la cigarette, ça?
C'est juste une vapoteuse.
Fais-toi pas d'illusions.
Vapoter, c'est jouer avec sa santé. Brise l'illusion.
Hey, you sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Some first quarter highlights right there. And again, if you're UBC, what are you looking to do to cut into this 26-11 lead built up by the GGs?
Well, they're struggling to put the ball in the hoop. Like, they're 3 of 16 from the field right now. They're actually out-rebounding them offensively, but they haven't been able to put the ball down. I think you need to continue to attack. Berlitz getting to the line there, I think that's indicative of just being aggressive and not settling, right? Trying to get to the rim and create something. So I think they need to continue with their offensive aggression. But I think another huge stat that kind of sticks out to me are the assists and the differential between the GGs and the Thunderbirds. And right now, the GGs with 10 assists and UBC with none. So ball needs to move. Wow, nice shot.
As Suzuka knocks down the 3, but here comes the Thunderbirds. Taniguchi gets that headman from Daly and is able to convert for 2.
There you go, there's that assist.
Yes, and that's something that UBC likes to do, is even on makes from the opposing teams, they look to run. Suzuka again up top, had 5 assists in that first quarter. Into Payne, looking to attack Clark out of that high post.
Oh, that's a tough shot.
Great little bit of footwork from Payne there and is able to make it fall.
Needed to create some space with that length of Clark and that little step back. That's a tough shot.
Berlitz with the ball, gives it to Martindale. UBC with their starters back on the floor here. Clark to Berlitz down low. A little shimmy shake, see you later, and puts it in for 2.
I like that matchup. 2 really strong athletes that don't really give up a whole lot of size with each other. I like that.
Yeah, and it's so great for UBC when you've got a high post player that can also pass inside, as that's picked off by Suzokin.
That was a really nice defensive play because Clark had a good seal.
A little bit of a mismatch here. Back out to Suzokin. Pump fake, gives it into Frido.
We had a beautiful view of that pass. Wow, that was nice.
Yeah, that window was not very big, but Suzokin made it look easy.
Well, and I think she also let her know that that pass was there after she threw it. I think she was the only one that saw it until that ball was in the air.
And they pass it inside to Clark. Able to get a hand, and it'll stay UBC ball. Bunch of subs coming in here. Karis Merton back in for UBC. Provo, Rolangay, and McCarthy back in for the GGs.
Oh, we just got another look at that pass. That was gorgeous.
Olivia Weeks coming back on the floor with 2 personal fouls. Berlitz from the elbow, leaves it a little short. Bordeaux able to corral the rebound. Knocked away, and here comes UBC. Merton attacks McCarthy, unable to get it, but Berlitz on the rebound, passes out to Clark. over to Weeks. Into Berlitz. Able to draw the foul. That'll be the first personal on Emily Payne.
Yeah, it's nice to see that UBC defense coming up with some steals and able to get out and run. Like you said, they love to run. They play really well at a high tempo. Just need the opportunity.
Kira Daly drives and is again able to draw the contact, and these free throws may be a good time to reset for Kira Daly, who's 0 for 4 on the day, but we know she can score a bunch in a hurry.
Yeah, I mean, if you're, like I said, if you're Ottawa, you don't want to put these girls on the line too much and let them figure it out, because once they do, you can get hot real quick.
Yeah, Kira Daly, about a 68% free throw shooter on the year. Goes 1 of 2 from the line. Back into the game is Maddie Billings and gives Berlitz a little bit of a break.
Really good strong shift for Berlitz.
Looks like a little bit of zone defense here from UBC, or no, actually I lied.
Did you?
I think it is a zone defense there.
I think you're right. I think you clocked it.
An unfortunate there. I think Bergman got the worst of it and also got the foul. Number 4, Roland Gay will shoot 2 at the line. Leaves the first one short. Hopefully Bergman's okay. I think she took a little bit of a shoulder to the chin. Lane violation, but if the free throw goes in, it still counts. So Roland Gay goes 1 of 2 from the line. So UBC ball. Daly at the point right now for UBC. Going up against Provo. Skips it to Merton in the corner for 3. A little bit long. Great rebound there by Paquette. And they're attacking in transition. Clark again cleaning up that rebound. Already up to 7 rebounds on the day. 8 rebounds on the day.
Wow.
Billings with the ball. Finds a rolling Clark.
Nice. I think she's such a huge piece if UBC wants to come back into this. It's great to see that she's got 8 boards already, but they were successful with her early, right in that, like right off the start. She had a couple of buckets. It was really nice. She had some good seals. She's such a tough matchup when she gets to her spots, and so if they're able to create, you know, off this pick and roll and get some mismatches for her inside, like she's a great option for them in this matchup for sure. I mean, always, but in this matchup for sure.
Yeah, and she shoots such a high percentage. It's 34-20 for Ottawa, and you're watching U Sports on CBC.
Feel every hit, goal, and celebration as if you're standing right on the sideline, immersing you in the game like never before, bringing heart-pounding action directly to millions of fans. We deliver unparalleled simplicity and tailor-made digital broadcasting solutions crafted to make you feel every moment in a way like never before. Our passionate team ensures your message reaches audiences reliably every time. Proudly Canadian, we bring a touch of innovation and our passion to the world stage. ISI Live, be there.
Oh, 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 aussi bon que Messi. C'est pas aussi mauvais que la cigarette, ça?
C'est juste une vapoteuse.
Fais-toi pas d'illusions.
Vapoter, c'est jouer avec sa santé. Brise l'illusion.
Hey, U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
All right, and we're back. Suzokin finds Touloute down low, dribbles it back out. Provo into Paquette. Weeks with the rebound. Headman to Daly out of bounds. We talked a little bit about that in the pregame as well, of turnovers and just getting as many possessions as you can. UBC actually has gotten more shot attempts than the GGs, but the GGs right now are 5 of 7 from the 3.
Yeah, they've just been shooting so well and shot well all tournament.
Daly with the ball there on the wing. Lobs it into Clark, who's able to corral that ball.
Oh.
But a turnover there right into Suzokin's hands.
I like that idea, though. Clark thought she was going to continue to cut. She probably should have.
Yeah, Paquette with the ball down low, unable to go over the 6'4" Clark. Never the easiest to shoot over there. Provo with a good hesitation. Ooh. Great pass, but just out of bounds, so it'll be Thunderbirds ball. We got a little bit of a twin switch here. Nicole Daly in for Kira Daly. Hun brings up the ball for the T-Birds. Gets it into Clark. Back out to Hun, to Billings. You can see that they're trying to go inside to Clark there. Billings pulls up for 3.
Yeah, they just haven't been able to connect on the last few. Like they had her. Oh, good try. That was a good athletic play. Just haven't been able to connect. Like they had her earlier, but didn't have their eyes up. And then by the time that they were able to look inside, she'd been 3 in the key. So haven't been able to connect like they'd like to, I'm sure, but something that Ottawa needs to have an eye out for.
Yes, and when you have such a big, tall big in there, it's usually the defense kind of condenses down, and that seems to be what Ottawa is doing.
And with the shooting struggles of UBC, it makes all the more sense that you try and clog that up and take that option away.
Provo at the line, misses the first one. We'll have a second attempt here. Gets the friendly roll to go 1 of 2 from the line. Berlitz is back in the game here to Nicole Daly. Bergman's got it. Drives baseline and a beautiful reverse there from Bergman.
Nice take, very nice take.
Again, we got this full court pressure, but Suzokin able to break it in the corner, and it goes in and out for Russell.
The rare miss.
Hun calming down this T-Bird offense, making sure they're running through a set. Berlitz working hard there against Bailey Russell and able to draw the foul. I believe that will be the 3rd team foul against the GGs. Kira Daly back in for the T-Birds and Victoria Brideau in for the GGs.
One of the things that I like so far about this game, as both teams are quite young, only graduating like a couple, is the amount of girls that are getting into this game. There's been a lot of different lineups and minutes to go around for everybody, and I think that's so important. Get that in-game experience as they develop their programs and start making it back to this tournament on a more consistent basis.
Absolutely, and as a program, you make it once, you want to make it again year after year.
Of course, always.
Berlitz traveled there at the top.
Yeah, just shot her pivot foot backwards before she took off.
Taniguchi back in the game for the GGs. Bouffard and Roland Gay back in for the GGs. Jessica Clark back in again for UBC. But as you were saying, the depth of both of these teams is such a strength, and the experience is so valuable going forward. UBC's already gone 11 deep. The GGs have gone 10 deep. Suzokin's actually getting a rest right now for the GGs. Foul on Nicole Daly there. Team fouls are tied at 3. You do shoot bonus. 2 free throws at 5. Team foul.
Good save there.
Rolonge was able to absorb a lot of contact through that entire drive there.
She was. She got bailed out a little bit there, I think. A little bit out of control. The ball was already kind of bobbling in her hands when she went up for that, and Clark was just kind of there, so a little bit lucky with that one.
And they actually gave the foul to number 8, Taniguchi, who didn't reach across there.
Yep, all right, I see that.
Unable to convert, but there's multiple bodies on the ground fighting for the loose ball. It'll be Ottawa GG's possession. .244 left in this game, or in this half. 35-22 for the GGs currently.
Oh, nice finish.
Bailey Russell for 2 off that great baseline out of bounds play.
There's been a couple this weekend. I need to make a footnote. I've got to steal that baseline out of bounds. It worked really well.
Berlitz able to get all the way to the rim and put it in for 2. She's now up to 7 points on the day. McCarthy, a double team coming at her, able to get it out there. Into Brideau, back outside to Bailey Russell. Oh. Bailey Russell on a little 5-point scoring run, all on her own. Taniguchi's got it, penetrates baseline, swings to Nicole Daly to her sister Kira Daly, falls short. GG's basketball with a 16-point lead. Jessica Clark checking back in for the T-Birds, and Natsuki Suzokin checking in for the GGs. Karis Merton also checking in. Always full of energy on the defensive end.
I think this next 2 minutes is really important here for the Thunderbirds. Going into the half, you want to have that feeling that you've had a little bit of success and momentum, so need a couple stops, need to see the ball go through the rim. I mean, obviously, if you could get within 10 before going into the half, that's ideal, but even if they could just get a little bit of momentum and a little bit of flow as they go into the half so that they feel a little bit more comfortable coming out into the second half. So a big minute and a half here.
Yeah, and that was a good start there. Kind of an unforced turnover by the GGs. That's UBC ball. Berlitz got it, penetrates, finds Merton. Rideau almost had that ball, but it found its way to Clark for 2, and they've cut it down to 14 with just over 1 minute remaining in the first half.
Good help there by Clark.
Here goes McCarthy, finds Brideau, shoots the 3. Berlitz gets the rebound, but we also saw Karis Merton go flying. So that will be 2 shots for Karis Merton. Oh, no, it will not be. That's only the 4th team foul.
One of the very valuable things about having someone with Clark's length and height is obviously the actual blocks, but every time that you attack, you're aware that she could be around, and she changes so many more shots than she blocks. You have to think about it, the way that you finish, or don't attack the rim because she's there. We saw that on that last defensive possession. Just the ability to change so many shots.
Berlitz has it stripped on that attack. Here come the GGs. Suzokin gets into the key, looking to find someone. but there just was nobody there.
Yeah, nice drop there by Clark.
Yeah.
I think it was Clark that dropped down because she did have, who'd she have underneath there? She had Brito underneath, but I think it was Clark that dropped, took that away.
So this could be the last possession of the half here. Clark with the ball, gives it to Taniguchi, up to Berlitz.
There you go, looking.
Draws the help down there, and it gets Taniguchi
nice
open for
play.
3. And that's got to be a good feeling if you're the T-Birds. You've cut this lead to 11, so close to that double digits, or single digits there. We got a 40-29 lead for the GGs. What do you got expecting for that second half?
I think they got to run their offense kind of focusing on Clark, because even in that little, like, she's had some really nice finishes, some simple ones around the rim. She's getting good seals. They need to be able to hit her a bit earlier. But even on that last 3, they're looking inside, defense collapses, and then it opened up that three-pointer really nice. So if they're able to continue to look for her and have some success, it's gonna open up that 3. And I know that they've had some shooting struggles, but that in-out look or that side-to-side 3, like, those are the best options. And I think when they have to drop in on Clark, it's gonna open up so much more. And I do think if UBC can just knock down some shots, it would help them a ton as well. Like, really struggling from beyond the arc. So it's nice that they got to hit one of those going into the half, understanding that, you know, we're not going to shoot that poorly in the second half.
Absolutely, and we'll have more of this bronze medal action after the break. You're watching U Sports on CBC.
Where exceptional student athletes are born, where records are broken, where great plays are made, where school colors ignite passion, where champions prevail, where tradition is celebrated, Ontario University Athletics.
This is a call to empower, to unite, and to celebrate the bold in all their glory. It's time to own the ice. Are you ready?
I'm a hockey player. I've been playing since I was 4 or 5 years old. I'm doing a lot of other sports too. I love golf. I love flag football. But I really like to hang out with friends. I'm studying psychology in school too, so I really like the mental side of sports. I started to play hockey with boys hockey. I think it's really when I switched with women's hockey that I saw my potential and that I really set myself some goal and that I wanted to like go higher in terms of level. So the main reason why I chose Bishop is because it was a young program and I wanted to build that program and bring it to the tops. Also, the value and the culture of the program really like resonate with me. I'm so proud of being here. I'm so proud of being part of the program. I'm also really proud to play in Canada, to play in my country. I had the opportunity to go NCAA D1. I visited a couple university there. Playing in your country, having the chance of staying close to my family and building something here that aligns with my value and that I want to just continue to build that culture and building a winning culture. I think it's huge for me and I'm just so grateful to have that opportunity each day. So I'm trying to make it the most out of it. I'm doing a major in sports studies and a minor in psychology. Later, I would like to mix both and like become a sports psychologist. I'm working with one in particular, and I think it's really helping me a lot. One of the reasons why I performed that well so far. I think a lot of people put that aside, but for me, it's a major reason of my success. And I think more and more athletes are starting to realize the importance of like being in a good state of mind to perform and just being confident, being in the present moment. During the pandemic, I didn't know what to do, so I started reading books, and I wanted to read books about like sports performance and just how to be the best athlete I could possibly be. Since then, I'm just really passionate, and I think I saw the improvement in my performance too. So it's just really something that I want to continue to research and improve myself. A feeling that you have for yourself. It's not really about like the outcome or whatever, but just the feeling that you have that you gave everything, that you were true to yourself. I think a lot of people put emphasis on like the result of like if you win, if you lose. The personal feeling that you have with yourself. Are you satisfied? Do you feel like you give your all, and do you feel like you were prepared enough? And if the answer is yes, then in my head you had succeed. So.
We are athletes. Do you know what Husky athletes are made of? Determination.
Hustle. Resilience. We're part of a team and a community. We work hard for every goal and every grade.
Do you know what Husky athletes become? Pharmacists.
Teachers. Professionals.
Olympians.
When you invest in student athletes, you invest in the future. When you elevate her, you elevate the game. Watch women win.
Everyone watches Husky women's sports.
See her, be her.
This is more than just a game. This is about who rules the court. The U Sports Basketball Championships, March 13th to 16th on CBC Gem.
Hey, U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Le sport en direct sur ICITOUT.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles. Des athlètes de grand talent. Des sports de haut niveau. Tout ça sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est simple et gratuit sur icitout.tv.
U-Sports on CBC, presented by les championnats U-Sport à Radio-Canada, une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada, Nike, Fox 40, Theraburn Medical Supplies, Les Bag Baron Rings, BioSteel, Wilson, APAR, and by Indochino.
Welcome back to War Memorial Gym and the 2025 Indochino U Sports Basketball Final 8 presented by Victory Creative Group. I'm Katie Miyazaki along with Kira Lyons, and we've got this bronze medal matchup between the Ottawa GGs and the UBC Thunderbirds. Currently, Ottawa has a 40-29 lead, that 11-point lead. What do you think coming out of this half?
I think, like we talked about going into the half, that UBC, that last 2 minutes, really important for their momentum coming into the second half. They've been really struggling trying to see the ball go through the rim, but they went back to what was making them successful early, Clark being a big part of that. And then they need to knock down open shots at the end of the day. When it goes in, comes out, when they're pressuring, when that ball goes into Clark, got to be able to knock down those threes when it kicked out, and they did that right at the end in their last offensive possession, and I think that's a good sign of things to come here in the second half.
All right, and just saw the halftime statistics brought to you by Wilson, the official U Sports basketball. We talked about it in the pregame of Ottawa shoots the ball well, and they are shooting 48%, while the T-Birds actually have more field goal attempts, but are only shooting 33%. So how do you think UBC can generate some high percentage opportunities for themselves?
I mean, I feel like I repeat myself with it, but they need to generate their offense from their defense. They are able to play such a high-pressure defense, get some touches, get some steals, and then be able to play with some tempo and get out and run. They love to play with speed, and I think that they have really great rhythm together when they're playing in transition. So being able to generate that from their defense, getting stops, and also keeping Ottawa off the glass, you know, like they're shooting really well right now, so they're offensively, they're not rebounding a ton because half the shots that they're putting up are going in. But that needs to be an important point for UBC, that when they do contest a shot or make it difficult, that they're not allowing them to get those second looks. One of the things I think that Ottawa's been doing really well is that movement underneath the rim. They're drawing Nicole Clark with their penetration, and then they have that movement underneath the rim with their other big or with some of their guards with their back cuts. And UBC really needs to be aware of that, like where their help rotations are coming from, getting that secondary drop and understanding that movement off penetration that Ottawa's been doing so well.
Absolutely, and for Ottawa, a lot of that comes through their fifth-year point guard, Natsuki Suzokin, who has 6 points, 6 assists, and 5 steals.
Yeah, she is incredibly fun to watch. And I mean, we talked about it in the first half, dealing with that pressure from that UBC defense and doing it so well, and then just creating so many opportunities for her teammates because she's so aggressive, but understands where that rotation is coming from and who's open, and able to execute beautiful passing to get her teammates good looks and successful positions.
As we start the second half, I believe both starters are back in for UBC. It's Berlitz, Merton, Weeks, Clark, and Martindale. And then for the GGs, you've got Suzokin, Payne, Brito, Provo, and McCarthy as they go immediately inside to Jessica Clark, who draws the foul.
That was such a nonchalant flex. I loved it.
We watch it again. Just there's not much you can do, right?
Having so much fun. That's one of the things we saw, and I'm sure Ottawa feels the same way because they're playing that way, but we could hear UBC singing in the hallway before the game, and you know that they're just having so much fun playing at this level, and you love to see that. You love to see a celebration like that, just enjoying it.
Absolutely, and that's why you play the game, right? Because you love it. As that ball is deflected into the UBC alumni that we've got sitting courtside here. And it's UBC ball. They've cut the lead to 8 in that first 30 seconds of the second half. Merton handling the pressure from Suzokin. Gets it to Weeks. Martindale runs into Brito. Weeks able to get it up. Unable to let it make it fall, but Merton hustles for that rebound. Berlitz has got the ball. To Weeks, goes up, could feel the pressure, and that is something that Olivia Weeks is so good at, is she can feel when there's a little bit of a foul, a little bit on her arm, and just goes up and ensures to get herself 2 free throws.
And going to the glass is going to be huge for UBC. I mean, it always is. The battle of the boards is always so massive. It's one of the key team stats you look at when you're trying to win games. But I think because their struggles with their field goal percentage, being able to create these secondary opportunities, going to the glass, like that's something you can control always. All right, we didn't get the first one, fine, let's get another one. Let's make their defense work for another 14 and get another good look. And so often, you get more than one offensive rebound, you're getting fouled somewhere because they're out of position, they're in scramble, and then, like we talked about in the first half, being able to get to the line and find that rhythm is very dangerous.
Yes, as we see a travel call against the GGs, and you can see UBC just coming out. I think I was mentioning before the start of this half, if you were going to see the tone of this half in the first 2 or 3 minutes, it could have been the GGs expanding that lead, or UBC really cutting it in as they try and get it into Clark. Payne quickly over the top there on the help side to knock it out of bounds.
That window into Clark there, especially when she has that baseline seal, is very small. Like they've been looking at it too long and then sending the pass. That help side's already pinched in so much by that point. It's got to happen quick on those.
Great little spin move to get open there by Weeks, but unable to have it fall. Here comes the GGs.
Oh, nice play.
Berlitz able to get the ball there, but then kind of turns it over. Not quite. Martindale picks it up. Berlitz with it. Calming it down a little bit here. Skip pass hits the rim on the way through. Suzokin finds McCarthy. McCarthy puts it in for 2.
And of course, it's the veteran fifth year that just takes control, gets a good open look for her teammate. I mean, one of the things, this energy of this game and the compete level has been so high that you forget that this is the last day of the tournament, you know, and there are going to be some mental lapses, some physical ones as this game progresses because they're tired. And so often on these days, it's not about the X's and O's, it's not about the, you know, tendencies and scouts and all. It's who wants it. It's who's going to show up and compete harder to win this game, and it can get a little bit sloppy because you're so exhausted. And I think we might see some glimpses of that as this game goes on.
Yeah.
Oh!
We see that great move by Kira Daly to get to the basket for 2 points, and that was all set up by Karis Merton getting the pick off of the inbounds.
That was smooth.
That'll gotta feel good for Kira Daly, who's got 3 points on the day, only 1 of 6. But you'd love to see her get going if you're a T-Birds fan. With Merton with another steal and draws the foul on Provo. I believe that will be Provo's 3rd personal foul. But Merton has come off, or started this half with a bang and just able to generate a couple more possessions for these T-Birds and get these steals.
Yeah, just such a little spark plug. Gives so much energy and just a competitor. You can tell that she's just a fiery competitor.
Yes, Karis Merton's never one to back down. A little bit of trying to force it into Clark, a turnover there. Great pass by McCarthy into Payne, back out to McCarthy. Leaves it a little short there. Clark there to clean up the boards once again. I think Clark, if that was rebound number 10, already has a double-double, 13 points and 10 rebounds. Has been a force all game. UBC just running out of time there on that possession.
Yeah, they're really, really looking for Clark now, but that first entry is probably not going to be there. There's got to be that skip and then that look after she can reverse because of where the defense is coming from. They're looking too long on that initial entry, and then it's not there. The help side is so far over.
Yeah, it's almost one when you're trying to pass into the post, you got to know that you're passing it in the post before you get the ball, right? So that is immediately you touch it, you're sending it inside. Otherwise it's too late. That three-pointer will not count. There was only 0.4 on the shot clock, unfortunately, but we've got a 42-36 game. UBC has come out of the half on a 7-2 run to really cut into this Ottawa lead. And another turnover there by the GGs. Here comes Berlitz, slows down her steps, unable to have it fall, fights for a second rebound, but again, unable to get rain. There's got a little bit of pressure here. Hun passes it into Clark, and it bounces around, and another 2 points for Clark.
I don't know how Clark came up with that one.
There have been a couple through this tournament of Clark has excellent hands, and anything kind of in her vicinity is going to end up in her hands, as that one is picked off by Berlitz. And they slow it down. It's probably something too if you get really excited with that defensive pressure, and then it's just trying to execute on the offensive end.
Well, and the last time when Berlitz was coming up the floor, she turned that over in transition, probably just wanted to get the ball into her guard's hands, get something good, just like that.
Yes, and the fifth-year transfer, Jessica Clark, is leading these T-Birds with 17 points. The North Vancouver native really wants to get a victory in what will be her last university game here at War Memorial Gym. You're watching U Sports on CBC.
Delaney, Northwest Territories, the birthplace of hockey. Here, you'll find a community full of history and tradition. A community that Quaker surprised by transforming their arena kitchen into a Quaker breakfast bar. Stocked with our Canadian whole grain oats, it's now a place to gather, to eat, and to celebrate. We're proud to feed the passion for hockey in the place where it all started. Because we believe no matter where you're from, you've got this.
Early mornings, late nights, every rep, every sacrifice leading to this. Fueled by BioSteel, the best get the chance to make their mark. One weekend, one shot at glory.
All right, and we're back. It is a 42-40 lead for the GGs, but they have seen their 11-point lead dwindle down to just 2 points. So coming out of the timeout, what did you expect from this GG squad coached by Roseanne Jolie?
How about they need to take care of the ball. They've been turning it over, trying to force things, and they need to move the ball a little bit better. They've getting happy on one side and then forcing in. So allow the offense to come to you a little bit, and just, allow your veteran point guard to take control. When the ball was in her, the ball's in her hands almost always, but in that first half, her decision making and her assist ability is so good that need to rely on her. She needs to be bringing that ball up, taking control, like she did in that first half.
Yeah, and we saw just on that last possession before that UBC turnover, Bailey Russell was just able to hustle after a shot that was left short and put it in for 2. It'll stay GG's ball here, and we've talked a lot about just getting opportunities to score, right? That ultimately is what it comes down to. And every extra possession means a lot in this second half. Bailey Russell just leaves it a little bit long, but Provo comes up with the offensive rebound, but foot was on the line, so we'll have Thunderbirds basketball.
Well, and we talk about how important those extra possessions are, but on a day like today, those possessions look messy. They're not going to look quite as clean as they did on day 1 or 2, just because of the exhaustion, And it's not just the exhaustion of playing in the game. This is where UBC has the advantage, but it's being in a hotel room. It's not eating food that you've made. Oh!
Kira Daly is able to knock it down from downtown.
Big smile on her face coming down, starting to feel comfortable. Had a couple free throws, now hit a 3. And like we talked about earlier, she can score in bunches and can be dangerous.
Yes, here comes Payne with the turnaround.
She loves that.
Probably has some of the best footwork that I've seen all tournament.
And just the balance.
Stella LaGrange is getting some of her first time on the floor. Sophia Bergman, looking inside for Kira Daly. Just a little bit too late, and it goes out of bounds. Clark and Taniguchi coming back into the game for the T-Birds.
17 points already.
Bouffard and McCarthy in for the GG, sorry.
You see that happen so often with 5th years too. It's your last game. I got to play in this game in my 5th year. Unfortunately, we didn't come away with the bronze, but it's an opportunity to compete, and you just relax a little bit. It's your last game. You want to enjoy it as best you can. And you just allow the game to kind of flow through you, and you see that so often. Claire Signatovich yesterday in her 5th year game, same idea, had a very large double-double, played so well, smooth and confident, and that's something that we're seeing with Clark, and you love to see that. You love to see them finish off their career just playing the way that they want to play with confidence. It's great to see.
Yes, and Clark has the ball in their hands, gives it to Weeks. Left-hander up there, draws the foul. Weeks is again someone that she's struggled from the floor all tournament, but has been so effective from the line, and coming into this game was 13 of 16 from the line, and manages to get 2 more free throws. The Winnipeg native is able to knock down the first one. She got into a little bit of foul trouble early in the game with picking up those 2 fouls in the first quarter.
Yeah, took that one on that offensive rebound. Had to take a seat.
But yes, that's the Thunderbirds captain. You know that they want to see her get going. She just is very gritty and gets after it. Suzokin. Buffard.
Oh.
That was, as we talk about foul trouble, Weeks picks up 3rd foul of, rather than going around the screen, decided that she was going to go through the screen.
She tried, yeah.
That's tough. Berlitz is back into the game as Weeks will sit with those 3 personal fouls. In U Sports, you get 5 personal fouls before you are disqualified. Suzokin with the ball up top against Merton. Gets into the rim, and there's again Clark to clean up. But the headman is just a little bit too far ahead of Kira Daly, and you could just see on that, after that play, Karis Merton went up to her post player and just told her to slow it down a little bit, right? It's great, you do want those fast break opportunities, but right now it's getting quality possessions.
Well, that's one of the things that happens when you play at a high speed is there are just certain turnovers that you have to live with. Because the only way you learn how to kind of push that line of when you can send it and when you can't is by sending it and it not being successful. So it's, you know, those turnovers that you have to kind of be okay with as a transition team, and as you get better at it, those get limited. You'd like to see that they're trying to push it and play at a high tempo, but yeah, these possessions are super important, need to be taking care of the ball.
Well, that was a tie-up right there, and it's UBC ball. Down by 1 point as we approach the 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Kira Daly just a little bit strong, but Clark ready to clean it up. Frido was able to really challenge that shot well.
The communication of, I mean, it might have been really well, but I couldn't hear it from here, is you got to be talking to her when she's doubled. You know, you've got some girls on the outside, and I know they're not shooting the ball overly well from beyond the 3, but when you get doubled like that, you got to be able to kick that out and make a better play. Unfortunately, it turned into a turnover, but that often comes from communication with the guards too.
Yes, and it doesn't always have to kick out for that 3-point shot. It just gives you space and lanes to then attack. Suzokin, a little bit long. Berlitz with the rebound. Looking to push the play here. Then pulls it back out. A near turnover there. Touched by Suzokin, so Kira Daly has the ball to Hun. Late in the shot clock, and it's going to be another 24-second violation.
Yeah, getting a little bit chaotic here. This is also where some veteran leadership comes in handy, being able to calm the team down, be able to manage the runs and the momentum of the game, and just recognize that it's all a part of it, and it's just next play mentality. Take advantage of the ones that you get.
Brito was able to corral that offensive rebound and gives it to Emily Payne, who puts it in for 2, and the GG's lead is back up to 3. As we're in the last minute of play in the 3rd quarter. Tanagutsi to Berlitz. Able to draw that foul.
Good strong take. Got her to bite on that shot fake. So strong.
Sofiane Buffard called for that foul. Their 15th foul of this quarter. Berlitz knocks down the first one. She now has 8 points on the day. Again, another lane violation, but we're okay there. Berlitz is now up to 9 points. She averages usually 16.4 per game during the regular season. Bouffard over to Russell. Knocked away, but it'll stay Gigi's ball. Bailey Russell has had a pretty good game for the GGs, coming off the bench with 9 points.
This is a big stop for UBC.
Oh, I believe it's going to be UBC ball. From our angle, it looked like it did last cut to Russell. So UBC, as long as they hold on to it, should have the last possession of the quarter. Be interesting to see if we see something similar to see what we saw going into halftime, where they kind of used Clark as a decoy and Taniguchi was able to get that 3.
Lots of time, get something good.
Eight seconds left. Berlitz puts it up for 3.
Oh, big shot.
And another 3 to end a quarter here. And UBC is going to go into the 4th quarter with a 2-point lead after outscoring the GGs 21-8 in that 3rd quarter.
It's underrated how important the end of quarters are, right? Like, they went into the half on a high, they're going into the 4th on a high. Even if it's just that last possession where you get a nice 3 by one of your star players, you know, stepping up in those big moments and hitting shots. But those possessions are so massive because now UBC has all this confidence, all this momentum going into the last 10 minutes. And even though it's a 2-point game, they feel more in control now. And I think having back-to-back quarters where they did something big going into the break, now they're feeling so good when they're in this huddle together. They're all, you know, jacked up together, pumping each other's tires in that timeout, and then it just feels so good going into the last 10 minutes. So those last possessions are huge, and they've been taking advantage of those really well today.
All right, as a 4th quarter you're not going to want to miss. We'll be back. You're watching U Sports on CBC.
This is a call to empower, to unite, and to celebrate the bold in all their glory. It's time to own the ice. Are you ready?
Hey, U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Gym for the 4th quarter of this bronze medal game between the Ottawa GGs and the UBC Thunderbirds. Thunderbirds hit that late 3 to get a 2-point lead. It's been a fun game. And right off the bat there, you see a 24-second violation caused by the UBC defense, and you mentioned that at halftime of just coming out and playing hard defense and just building off of that momentum.
That's how you get energy, right? Like you get stops together, you're communicating, getting on the same page, and you just allow the game to come to you. Digging in defensively is so huge.
Kira Daly puts it up, leaves it a little short. Here comes Suzokin, who's been so dangerous in transition, and she's able to draw the foul and head to the free throw line.
When you know that you're going to see her going hard at the rim and attacking like this, she's not going to let this game get out of hand. It's her, it's, you know, being a veteran playing in this game, and she is so skilled and so fun to watch, but I imagine in her mind she needs to start taking control of this game a little bit.
Yes, big moments call for big players making big plays, and she knocks down both her free throws to tie this game up at 50. A little bit of zone pressure here from the GGs. Suzokin getting a hand on that ball, but UBC holds on to it. Provo able to get her hand on the ball and then diving, gets the tie up. It'll stay with UBC with 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Olivia Weeks and Jade Hunt coming back into the game for Merton and Berlitz. Again, 7 seconds left on the shot clock here as Taniguchi cues the inbound. Gives it to Kira Daly. Drives. Unable to have it fall. Here comes Suzokin.
Need to have that offensive glass presence from the guards at UBC as well. I know you want to make sure that you're not getting transitioned by Ottawa, but there has to be that presence of the glass from their guards. Can't just be Clark. They're not shooting the ball well enough to not be crashing and not be in a safety position. So something that those exterior, those wing guards need to be aware of. Can't be hanging out in no man's land when you need to be on the attack.
Absolutely. As we're tied at 50, every possession down the stretch is going to matter. And if you can get yourself a few extras, as we see another turnover, unfortunately. But then we see one right back.
Yeah, Weeks needs to be careful. Even there, had a little bit of a bit of a protection shove, but somebody that's in foul trouble, she needs to make sure that she's careful with that. Need to be able to keep you on the floor.
Toulouse back in for the GGs, and early in the game, Toulouse was able to generate some extra possessions for the GGs and provide a spark, so I assume that's what they want by putting her back on the floor. Kira Daly with the step back three, a little bit short. And there's Toulouse with the rebound on the defensive glass. And again, every possession is going to matter as we see that foul on Taniguchi. Got a little bit too close to Suzokin. Second team foul on UBC. And as mentioned before, teams will shoot bonus, so 2 free throws, one set, 5 team fouls. Suzokin's got the ball, 10 on the shot clock. Finds Toulouse. Great hands up there, not committing the foul, just standing their ground, and it'll be UBC basketball. Emily Martindale, another 5th year from Ancaster, Ontario, back into the game for UBC. Jade Hunt is running the point right now. Sue Berlitz. Here comes Martindale with the baseline penetration. Berlitz is able to have it fall with no time left on the shot clock, and UBC retakes the 2-point lead.
Yeah, GGs need a good look here. They've been turning over the ball, something that's hurt them in this tournament.
Yes, and this is where you see who wants to take those shots, who is trusting the process of all the practice.
Oh!
There's one right there. Natsuki Suzokin drives to the hoop and again ties this ball game back up.
Right on cue. Talk about best players being the best players and needing a big bucket. That's a big bucket.
Here we go, UBC, Berlitz.
Oh, good
to
ball
Olivia
movement.
Weeks. unable. Suzokin corrals the rebound and is now going in transition, and we know how deadly she is in transition. Ooh. I'm okay with that no call right there.
Me too. And like they kind of bumped into each other, but the ball was in between. So
yeah,
I like that no call, but still hard on the body, and you can tell that she has legged some minutes here this week, trying to find pockets of rest where she can, while also being explosive in transition here, just playing like a veteran.
Yeah, at this point there is no tomorrow, there is no game. For some of them, this will be their last U Sports basketball game. As you see Allie McCarthy with the ball. Pulls up and hits.
Tough shot.
We don't see pull-ups often, but when we do, we love to see it. Almost with the turnover, and then there is the turnover.
The UBC almost turned it over right off that baseline too.
Bailey Russell. Provo had it momentarily. That was Provo rebounding over Hun, and then Clark rebounding over Provo. Yep, an 8-second call there against UBC. I'm not completely sure on that one. I think the shot clock should have reset.
Yeah, that seemed really quick.
It should have been a reset there, but it's 54-52 for Ottawa in the fourth quarter, and you're watching U Sports on CBC.
Le sport en direct sur ICITO.TV. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est ICITO.TV.
Welcome back to War Memorial Gym in this fourth quarter of the bronze medal game of the 2025 Indochino U Sports Basketball Final 8 presented by Victory Creative Group. Currently, we've got a 54-52 lead for the Ottawa GGs with 5:24 remaining.
I just gotta say, the energy in here, the compete level of the teams, like, I am loving this. This is such a good game. It's such a tough one to play in, and these athletes are competing so hard, and the fans are really showing up for both sides. It's very fun in here.
Yes, and I know, I think I speak for both of us. We just both feel very honored to get to call this game, being former U Sports basketball athletes ourselves for the University of Saskatchewan. Go Huskies.
Yeah.
You'll be able to catch that game later when when Saskatchewan takes on Carleton in the gold medal game, set to take place at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Just off this, the ball going out of bounds here, but one of the things that Clark has impressed me with, I mean, she's had overall a very good game. She sees things very well. Like, she's had some passes that have ended up being turnovers or didn't convert, but she's seeing lanes and she's seeing openings that her teammates haven't been seeing as well, and that's something I think that I've learned about her this tournament that I didn't recognize, you know, how well she sees that movement and those lanes.
Yeah, I believe sometimes UBC likes to call Clark their 6'4" point guard, as we get to watch the masterful footwork of Emily Payne once again down low.
She moves so well down there.
Yeah, when they've needed a basket, Emily Payne has come up big. Now up to 10 points on the afternoon. Kira Taylor is able to get to the rim, rejecting that screen, and putting away. She's up to 6 points. Here comes Payne, unable to have that one fall. Berlitz with the rebound. Gives it to Kira Daly, who finds Tanagutsu.
Nice.
Who was able to draw the foul.
Nice play there by Daly to send that.
Yeah, Tanagutsu is an excellent slasher to the rim, only 5'6", but sees those lanes very well and is rewarded by Kira Daly with that pass and then able to draw the foul. The 2 free throws.
The confidence of Daly, I know, like rookie of the year, so obviously confident player, but seeing it in action, she's going to be a problem for this league for the next 4 years.
Yes. Again, it makes you excited. Again, we talked about it. Not a lot of 5th years on these teams, so it's very exciting going forward for both these programs. We expect to see both of them back here, or back at Nationals next year. Kira Daly late in the shot clock.
Oh. Speaking of confidence, no hesitation there.
Right, and it doesn't really matter how your day has gone. It just matters about the next one.
So you got to put that one in if you're Ottawa. Such a good opportunity to get a quick bucket response after that 3 missed right underneath the rim. Got to convert those.
Yeah, Kira Daly now up to 11 points. Only 4 of 13 on the day, but shooting everyone as if the next one's a make, and that's what you need down the stretch. Again, that's about trusting the process and all that you've put in up until now. We know that these athletes have put in thousands of hours of work.
And they know what a good shot is. And if you're passing up good shots, even when you're struggling, that's selfish. You have to be confident enough to put up those uncontested open looks without hesitation. And sometimes you got to live with the consequences of not being able to shoot well, but that can't change the mentality.
Allie McCarthy on that last possession was able to knock it down right in the key. We've got another tie ball game, 58-58. Under 3 minutes left. Late in the shot clock, Berlitz tries to put it up. It's going to be another 24-second violation.
Yeah, really stagnant. Balls really didn't leave the right side there. Couldn't get any sort of look inside. No penetration looks or trying to attack a lane. Got to look as an attacker. Got to get that ball moving.
Yep, and we'll see if people start tightening up. This is for a bronze medal. All right, last game here. Nicole Daly was checking in there to provide them a little bit of a spark on the defensive end here. Suzokin going against Tanagutsu, doing a little dance back and forth. Suzokin's able to get by and lays it in.
Such good defense to start too, like keeping the ball in front, but that tiny little hesitation after she pulled off that first attack just lifted her enough.
Yeah, that's tough when Ottawa has been shooting the ball well from the outside, so your help side might not have been where it needed to be.
Especially when she pulled out, like I feel like it was, and then she retracted, kind of softened that rotation underneath a little bit. Didn't expect another attack right away.
So
Very
hard,
nice.
yeah,
Very
she's able to get to the rim, but also such an excellent distributor. There's a foul on the play there on Merton. They're up to 4 team fouls. Ottawa's got the 2-point lead with just over 2 minutes left. Suzokin with the ball here, finds Allie McCarthy, drives past Clark, and then is fouled hard by, I believe, I'm not gonna guess, I'm just gonna wait for the call. Olivia Weeks, 4th personal foul. She'll check out probably momentarily. Karis Merton back in. McCarthy at the line for 2 free throws. McCarthy has had quite a solid game, up to 15 points on the night. She really sparked them to start this game with those 3s in the first quarter. Nails both free throws.
Hit a couple tough jumpers when they needed a bucket as well, some timely ones.
Ottawa showing a little bit of their zone and pressure out there. Foul on Emily Payne. Third personal, second team foul.
We got to keep an eye on that bonus as well. UBC only had 2 team fouls. Or sorry, Ottawa only had 2. UBC in the bonus.
So UBC with the timeout here. You've only got 1:51 left. It's a 4-point ball game. What are you telling your athletes here?
I mean, the same thing that they've been talking about all game that's been successful. Like, you gotta dig in on your defense, right? Let's get out and play some transition, get some good looks. But yeah, they gotta dig in, get some stops, get some touches, be really disruptive on the defensive end and not allow them to get many good looks. And recognizing how well Ottawa's been shooting the ball, right? You have to make sure that you're out on shooters. 3 balls are the most dangerous right now, so you need to make sure that you're mitigating those and just make them work incredibly hard. You know who the ball is going to be in the hands of, and they've been doing a really good job with her. But recognizing that as this game comes down, like, she's going to be the one attacking and trying to create for her teammates because that's who she is. So being able to know where she is, trying to recognize that you need to have that help side, but good rotations in behind when she does distribute.
Yeah, and as you can see, these statistics brought to you by Wilson, the makers of the official U Sports basketball. We talked about Ottawa shooting such a high percentage, and they've done that all game, but UBC stayed in the game by drawing those fouls and getting to the free throw line. And here we go. 1:51 left, 4-point lead for the GGs. 10 left on the shot clock. Berlitz with the ball. Penetrates, kicks, and it's deflected.
UBC has 14 offensive rebounds right now, so that's something that Ottawa has to be very, very aware of. Like, they're not shooting an exceptionally high percentage, but it's definitely improved in this second half for the UBC Thunderbirds. But they need to make sure, Ottawa needs to make sure that they're hitting the body when that shot goes up. Got to keep them from being able to get second point chances, and of course that being led by Clark, who has had a double-double for a majority of this game.
And that's going to be a 24-second violation there. So again, Ottawa now has the ball, 1:36 left, up 4. UBC can still play some straight-up defense here. No need to foul yet. Next foul by UBC will send Ottawa to the line. Suzokin with the ball. Pulls up and knocks it down.
Oh! Tough to stop.
Yes.
Love to see that from a senior.
And that's what you love to see of, again, not backing down from the moment, right? Wanting that ball in their hands, wanting to take that shot. Now in UBC, you got to see who's going to take this shot, who wants that ball. Hun with the ball, 4, 3, 2.
Oh no.
Hits the glass. Clark unable to put it in. McCarthy with the rebound and then his foul, and we'll head to the free throw line at the other end of the floor. And I think we're just seeing a little bit of a difference here is Suzokin wants the ball for the GGs, and she wants to take that shot, whereas I don't know if on that UBC side anyone really wanted the ball in their hands or to take that shot.
Yeah, it wasn't obvious, whereas you know with Ottawa who that's going to be, and I think that's also just such an advantage of having your point guard being, you know, your best player, and being a 5th year and having so much experience and the confidence to have that. But yeah, I think that identity as this game gets closer to the end is just a bit more cemented on that Ottawa GG side than it is with the Thunderbirds.
Allie McCarthy goes 2 for 2 from the line to extend this lead up to 8. 53 seconds left, and we've got a timeout by UBC. All right, again, what are you drawing up here if you're UBC?
I don't know. It's tough to anticipate, you know, what Izzy's going to be telling her players. I mean, the whole, it's got to be, you got to be able to get stops. You got to still dig in through your defense. I think something that was really successful for them was when they were looking to go through Clark, and they've kind of had periods throughout this game where they did and they didn't, and they've kind of gone away. And that is also attributed to the Ottawa GG's defense and being able to adjust and kind of take that away. But they have to have that adjustment now. So how are other ways that we can use the fact that they are keying on her on the inside? And one of those is being able to knock down those open shots from the outside, which, you know, they're only 4 of 13 from 3, but recognizing moving the ball and trying to find those fantastic shots and not settling. And right now they don't have, like we talked about, they don't have that confident piece that wants that ball in their hands. Who's going to go? Who's going to be the attacker? Who's going to try and create some rotations on defense? And having that unsure kind of ball movement, looking for who it wanted to be, makes it tough in this last minute.
Yeah, but I think we see Ottawa in a little bit of their zone defense. Right, so they're just trying to take time off the clock. Kira Daly from deep makes it rain and cuts this lead to 5. That was from the volleyball attack line.
Yeah, that was real deep.
Yeah, and as I said before that, Ottawa was in their zone defense, so they weren't extending that out that far out.
Well,
they weren't expecting it.
Why would you? You know, like, I wouldn't either.
Yeah, so that was a big, Kira Daly, as you said, is gonna be, she's gonna be tough to handle for the next 4 years if she plays all 5 years of her youth sports career.
Yeah, so strong, plays with the confidence of a much older player, and getting this experience here, you know, in these big games is gonna do such incredible things for not only her, but their program.
Yep, so we've got a 5-point ball game. Ottawa with the lead, 48 seconds on the clock. So a 2-possession game. Team fouls. UBC has 5 team fouls, so the next time they foul will send someone to the line.
So I think you're talking about who the worst free throw shooters are on Ottawa, making sure that we're aware of who that is so you can try and get the ball in their hands and foul. You know, you don't want to put their best free throw shooters, give them the opportunity, but it's tough because with Ottawa, you know that their 5th-year point guard is going to have the ball in her hands and she can hit from the stripe.
Yeah, Suzokin is a 75.6% free throw shooter on the year. They're going to try and send a double. Suzokin.
Merton that went off her foot.
Merton able to get the ball loose, and here comes UBC to Kira Daly. They gotta go though.
Yeah.
There's still a 2-possession ball game.
It's taking too long.
Giving it to Clark. And they call the travel. And that's the tough part of rain. You do have your conversations. We need to create turnovers. We need to create turnovers. You may not have talked so much on the offensive end and being able to score fast.
Needed to attack early. Clock is not their friend right now. Needed to try and create something.
21 seconds left, so they got to go for the steal or for a foul, but they're not fouling. McCarthy with the ball, and there's been no foul here. And now there's a foul, I think, called on Kira Daly, but they let 13 seconds tick off the clock.
Yeah, I was trying to look at Coach Orman to see what she was trying to relay in those moments, and I'm not sure if that was just some miscommunication or what, but definitely needed to do that sooner.
Yes, and Allie McCarthy, who was an 81.5% free throw shooter on the year, knocks down the first one to extend this lead to 6. Now it's up to 7, so it's a 3-possession ball game with 8.8 seconds left to go. And it's looking like we're gonna have a GG's sweep of bronze medals, as that last second shot by Karis Merton does not fall. So our 2025 Indochino Youth Sports Basketball Final 8, presented by Victory Creative Group, bronze medalists will be the Ottawa GGs.
What a fun game that was.
Yeah, absolutely. It was very back and forth. We saw some big time plays, and I think we've just enjoyed watching this entire weekend, and again, having the privilege to be courtside and getting to see these athletes play and see all their hard work.
Yeah, it's so much fun to watch, you know, the highest level in our country play basketball. They are so good, they're so skilled and athletic, but most of all, they compete unbelievably hard. And I think, you know, being able to, I commend both of these teams for how hard they competed today. You know, UBC with that comeback and making that hard push, like to have the emotional and physical capacity to be able to do that on this day shows so much about their character and their programs and what they're building. You know, like it's so easy to just kind of coast afterwards, it's not easy. I feel like for me that would be very incredibly difficult, and for these teams as well. But I commend them. They work so hard. They're going to have lots of bruises and soreness to show for the next couple of days for sure. But what a tournament for both of these teams. I think that they should be very pleased with where they ended up in this tournament. It's a very strong tournament. Came across some very formidable opponents in those semifinals, but I think that this matchup was perfect, and it was such a fun game to be a part of. And yeah, just very grateful to be here and be a part of it and be able to watch such fantastic athletes do amazing things for our game.
Jessica Clark picking up player of the game in what will be her final U Sports game for the UBC Thunderbirds.
Yeah, what a game she had, especially early, just dominant.
And now the 19th player of the game for the University of Ottawa GGs, number 9, Natsuki Suzuki.
Yes, and no real surprise there on the Ottawa GG side. Suzokin just stepped up again, wanted to be that player with the ball in their hands when the game was on the line.
14 points, 8 steals. My gosh, 8 assists. How many rebounds she have? 6. Like, what a game. What an absolute game. And like, we talked about the identity and who was going to have the ball in their hands and how that was a little bit, might have been a struggle for UBC there as the game came to a close. But this Ottawa team knew, and she's the right person. She's so fun to watch. Incredible career. And yeah, just a pleasure to watch her play the game.
And just so people know, those 8 steals ties the record for most steals in a national tournament game.
Oh my goodness. Makes sense.
As they present all of the bronze medals to the Ottawa GGs. Thank you for joining us. My name is Katie Miyazaki. I was joined by Kira Lyons, and we hope you enjoyed this game, and we hope we're calling more games in the future. Thank you for watching U Sports on CBC.
Number 14, Enora Tolu. Number 15, Emily Payne. Number 23, Benny Bambia. And Kyla Tambo. GG's led by head coach Rose Anjali. Assisted by Sarah Vesselnick, Patrick Flynn, Claire Tremblay, Casey Turner, Madison Selly, and Amelia Langiano. Fans, let me hear you make some noise one more time for your 2025 Indochino U Sports Final 8 bronze medalists, the University of Ottawa GGs. A big thank you to all the fans in the stands. A fantastic game here at historic War Memorial Gym.
sugar and spice.